A lot of the videos that I've been making recently have been assertive. I've been saying things that I think are so, but I think it's important to recognize there are a lot of things I don't know, and so here's a list of things that I wonder about. I wonder about sleep. When I was a kid, every night I would try and pay really close attention so that I could catch just the moment when I was falling asleep, and every morning I'd wake up and realize that I had completely missed it. I still don't know what it's like to actually fall asleep. I also wonder what it's like to wake up, because usually when I wake up I'm too groggy to be paying much attention. But I wonder what it's like for me and for other people. It'd be interesting to just kind of sit and watch how people start their day. They just sort of sit there and shake the cobwebs out of their head, or do they bounce out of bed and start doing stuff? I'd be interested to know, but it feels like that's one of those things that I'm not really gonna find out for most people. I wonder what thoughts are like for other people. If I had ESP, would I be able to understand people's thoughts, or would it come in as some jarbled cryptic code? Would they even be in words? Would they be just images that I can't make sense of? Is it all encrypted? Are the shared assumptions that we have really shared, or do we all have completely different worldviews that just happen to overlap just enough that we can get along together? I wonder what it's like to write a book. I've tried to do some writing, and I've done some research about the process of writing. And there are a lot of guidelines out there for, how you can plan out a story and how you can architect it, but it feels like the most challenging part comes before all of that, when you're just trying to come up with the idea. And I wonder, for the people that do write books and write books that, receive critical success, is there some sort of method to the madness? It's something that I think very few folks are comfortable talking about because it's different for all of us and it's weird to explain. But I wonder, just how much do you sit around just letting a thought germinate and gestate before you start trying to write it down? I feel like the creative process is somewhat like a sound wave. It expands and collapses. You have these moments of very sharp focus where you say, this is a thing that I need to decide and plan out, and then you just kind of let your mind roam free and think broadly, and then eventually, once it's got time to do that, it collapses again. And I don't know quite where those points lie for each person, and it'd be cool to know, because I'd like to do that. I wonder about the difference between mindfulness and flow states, which are kind of two very popular things right now. The idea of mindfulness being that you're aware of the thoughts in your head. The idea of flow states where the world just kind of disappears and you get a whole bunch of stuff done because you're in the zone. And it seems to me like these are kind of contradictory. You think of flow states as being kind of like highway hypnosis, but for whatever it is that you're doing. And I feel like there's times when I'm in flow states, feels like I'm not being very mindful at all. I'm solely focused on this one thing, and I have no awareness of anything. And I wonder what it's like to be an expert. If you're a chess grandmaster or a virtuoso pianist, how does it feel? Do things just sort of happen automatically? When you look at chessboard, what do you see? Do you see all these patterns? These things just sort of visually jump out at you? Is it beautiful mind, or is it just that you're thinking so fast and you're aware of all of these different thought processes that are taking place? I don't know what it's like, and it'd be cool to know that. I wonder how people make friends on the internet now. I know when I was a kid, it was pretty easy because almost everybody was on AOL. There were a couple of MSN Messenger folks and a couple of people on Yahoo, but you could easily make friends and meet random people. But it feels like now there are so many different platforms that are all sort of competing, and everyone has their own preferences for different things. And I wonder how people stay in contact anymore. Feels like now whenever I I tweet something out, there's not much interaction, which isn't a complaint. It's just sort of an observation that I think people are dispersed across so many different things that I wonder, is everybody connecting on one shared thing that I'm just not on? Or is it that everyone is so dispersed now that we don't keep in much contact? And I wonder what life would be like if you had everything. If any desire that you had was just completely satisfied, kind of regardless of what it was. Like if we were able to create some sort of virtual environment where every need, every want was there, would we be happy? I don't know. I think it'd be a cool experiment to find out, to kind of prove once and for all whether materialism actually can result in ultimate happiness if there were an infinite number of resources. And I wonder what it's like to be you. I've struggled with sort of the inherent limitations of empathy, that we really have to view everything through the frame of our own experience. And I wonder, and I think that my empathy's gotten worse as I've gotten older, and it's something that I want to work on. But I wonder what your life is like, what your experiences have been, and what your mind feels like right now. Those are things that I wonder about, because I don't know much.